So, hello. It's actually my first time doing this. I mean, I've streamed before for like literally 4 hours straight, and I talked during that, but it just wasn't good. I sort of didn't put any effort into it, didn't really test enough for it. I had music in the background, which didn't really come across well. Even though it was loud to me, it wasn't loud over the mic. And I actually will have music on this, but I don't know what music it will be, because I'm picking that afterward. And I would just play that while speaking, but my headphones just broke yesterday. So I'm just going to pick something that will not get me banned off of YouTube. So as for using a microphone, I will be deadpan because I'm not actually used to speaking on a mic. I don't do a mic chat in games. I don't really game. And even if I do game, it's always offline. I'm more of a Civilization 5 and SimCity nerd than anything. Especially because, like, a lot of games that are multiplayer now give me motion sickness. First-person shooters and such. And I'd like to go over tablet quirks. Like, I actually have a script up, sort of, just to brainstorm. Like, I'm just going down a list, because that's how over-the-top anxious I am. So I have a Cirrus Pro 2, and there's a bunch of weird, funny quirks that I absolutely hate, and I cannot wait to get rid of this thing, but I just don't have a reason to if it's still working. Because I'm left-handed, I always have my hand down in the bottom left corner, so I no longer have my taskbar down there, I move it to the top. But sometimes when I touch the screen, it'll undo. And it's really annoying when I go and draw a perfect line and then accidentally undo it, and then I draw another without realizing, and then I've just lost the perfect line. Also, because it's an old Wacom, it has poor edge detection. Like, it'll actually be about a centimeter off from where the pen is. But that applies more over to the control panels than to the canvas, so it's not that big a deal. And there's no tilt support whatsoever. So, a lot of high quality stuff you see with, like, absolutely gorgeous line thicknesses and such, I can't actually do. And sometimes it'll lag, so I'll try and draw a really nice curve and then it'll bend. Because this is just good enough for a, at the time, really, really nice Surface Pro. And it's horrific now. I'm just going to be lining this because people actually liked it. I kind of like it a bit too, which is rare. So enough with speaking, and I should get to that. What else for... Oh yeah, this thing has actually been shutting off at random too, so that's kind of scary. But, well, the first time I was doing that, I found out it was actually the type cover. It was one of the ones with an extended battery in it. And so when I folded it back so that the keyboard was completely behind the tablet, it would actually just shut off like it was shorting out the pins. And I still think that the adapter is having issues to the whole tablet, because sometimes I'll have to play around with it to get it to charge. Wow, yeah, there it just happened. I didn't even notice because I wasn't looking at the screen. So, yeah, I'll like wiggle it around and it'll actually shut the tablet off, which is also terrifying. And I actually threw out that type cover because it got me so nervous. Like, what if it just broke the tablet? So now I'm using a purple one that's a lot prettier and has a backlight but no extended battery. But the tablet has a pretty good battery anyway. Usually I line in vector, but I'm not because I honestly forgot, so I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. It'll make me work slower and honestly have a longer recording, which I'd rather prefer. I don't want to go through this too quickly. I'm going to hate and want to redo most everything, as I will after the recording, because I don't think fast enough for this. Like, that's a skill that you have to develop, is just being able to criticize your own work absolutely on the fly. And I've worked on that a little bit, I've improved, but I have a long ways to go. So, posture issues as well. I work hard labor during the day. I work in a warehouse. Not anything like Amazon or the such. Good gosh, I cannot do that. But I've done a lot of heavy lifting. I've worked industrial jobs, and I Uber on the side, so I'm always sitting down. But out of all that, I'd have to say that drawing is the absolute worst in my back, no doubt. Because I'm always sitting down leaning forward for it, which I'm not doing while driving, and I'm always standing up while at the warehouse, so that's automatically a lot healthier. I should probably have a standing desk, but this house needs so much work. I don't even know how long I'm living here, so I don't want to set anything up permanently. It's just a total hack job. It is a mobile home, which I love and hate. I do have a yard, but that means I have to take care of it and I don't even use it. But I get to say I have a yard. So because canonically and not so canonically, I am kind of an idiot, and I'll actually see like debris or streaks on the screen, and I'll try to erase them thinking that it's something I drew, when it's literally physically on the screen, and I just hope that doesn't happen, and if it does, I hope it's hilarious. Okay, my lines are too thick. I should actually... I'm gonna just try thick lines for this one. I'll see what that looks like. If I hate it, I can always just redo the entire thing from scratch. Because that's not overkill at all. Oh gosh. Another thing I do that a lot of people do is just lose the pen. So you'll set it down and it appears in like a totally different room in the house. Or it just appears underneath a chair, you know, you pull it out of your pants, like, who even knows? It's just a phenomenon. Also, notifications. Like, I have Telegram disabled right now, but I have it open because I'm gonna be driven nuts if I don't. I'm really bad about distractions, and I consider just closing Telegram and Discord entirely. But I just want to keep them open in case it helps my anxiety having those open and having something to distract me without distracting me too much. And plus, might add something to my talking points if anything interesting comes up. But it's nice not to have the notification sounds. I already absolutely hate this, but let's just keep going and see how it goes. The lines are definitely way too thick. I don't want to scrap it. If I scrapped it, I'd want to scrap the whole recording. That doesn't help me one bit. But I will have to take the thickness into account when working off the sketch. This one is pretty, this one is totally bog standard for my usual art style. I'm just lining this, and then I'm lining a GIF for Jib Kodi. And I'll talk about that later in case anybody sighs at me drawing something for a poppy fur, as people would say. But I have my reasons. Also, distracting roommates, I don't have any. Like, I have birds and squirrels, and sometimes the squirrels just run across the roof, or I get like a skunk or a cat running underneath my room, because there's an opening that I should probably tell the owners about. But I told them my sink does not work in the kitchen, and they haven't looked at it like 9 days later. Whatever. Who needs a kitchen sink anyway? So as a handicap, I am left-handed, of course, like I already said. So everything is difficult. I also have, I don't have ADHD, surprisingly, though I have a fake ADHD when doing this, like I said about distractions. And I do have Tourette syndrome, so I shouldn't be able to do this at all. But I don't swear profusely, at least not most of the time. That is an actual thing, but that's a combination of ADHD and Tourette syndrome. It applies to me sometimes, but I'll try not to swear during this recording. If it comes up, then oh well. Oh, I completely botched this. It's not a big deal to me, I just have, like, a rated E for everyone audience, and I'd rather not upset anybody. Oh, actually, that one is round, kind of. I kind of wish I did have music playing live, it's just so I could actually talk about it. Not live, but, you know. Something to break the silence that's not myself. So this is actually a new habit of mine. Just drawing the, I wouldn't say cheeks, I would say, facial fluff like this. Just this sort of curve is nice. If I can actually get it. It's an S bend, so I don't even know the best position to draw it from. That works, I suppose. A little short. It should be longer than the other. I think that's the biggest flaw with this drawing, is that the face is kind of opposite. And this is the first one where he's deliberately fat. Which doesn't represent me, but I like it because it's completely adorable. And this one was especially popular for that reason. And honestly, normalize fatness. I'm totally okay with that. I've even tried myself in real life, but I'm a penny pincher as far as eating, so I can't really eat enough to fill my needs if I do put on weight. So I keep going back to being thin again. It's kind of like back in the days, if you had on a lot of weight, it meant you could actually afford to eat that much, and I can't. I think his fingers are a little big. The shoulder fluffs are really big on this one. I'll try that. I'm not gonna change it up. Neck fluff always confuses me just a little bit. So for as long as I can remember, my character's name has always been Southpaw, but I used to go by the name Xanadu. but I had to just cut that out and switch to Southpaw completely, despite how generic it is, because it had been pointed out that the alt-right had actually started a group called Xanadu Politics, and I wanted absolutely no association with that whatsoever. But I got the name Xanadu from it was based on my dad actually, because my dad had a music shop named Cygnus, after the Rush song Cygnus X1. Now he had that back in the early 90s. I think it closed in 94, 95. So, up in the internet age, he did the same thing over again. He would always sign up on forums as Cygnus X1. So I picked Xanadu because that was another Rush song, but it's a much more obscure one. I always found Chinese history kind of cool, so they fit hand in hand. It's about the hidden city of gold. Chengdu, if I can get the pronunciation correct. I might still use the name in some places, but I've tried to disassociate completely. Well, it'd be ideal to take my name back from the alt-right. It's not really a fight I want to put up. What is going on with the thumb here? Most of my drawing difficulties are from where my wrist sits. This is tricky. Also, I'm not recording from the tablet because it's a piece of crap and it cannot handle that. So it's actually more lightweight to use TeamViewer on my main computer and just TeamViewer to the Surface Pro and then record TeamViewer's window. Funnily enough, it can do that while TeamViewer is behind other windows because it's currently behind my browser, but only so long as it's maximized. So I thought that was kind of funny. If I minimize TeamViewer, even though it wasn't visible in the first place, it'll actually pause on the recording. This is going to be the most difficult line of the whole thing, because I'm going to be extremely picky. I could just fix it in sections, I suppose. That's honestly not that bad. Everything can get redone. Shout out to one of 2 times I watched a stream by Wayward Mutt, and she said that never get attached to any line because anything is the good candidate to get redrawn. And I think that's helped me a lot. Because I feel like I always have to get everything right the first time, but that just keeps you from actually doing anything the first time. But if you do everything fast and actually focus on it later, then you're a lot more likely to bother to draw. I always draw paws like that, feet like that for the sketches, but I want to do that for the final line now, rather than drawing the toes out individually. Because I actually like this way more. I don't know why I don't do that all the time. I wish that I was better at drawing like these really tiny anthro characters with short legs, because that is probably my favorite thing. But for that, I'm probably forever doomed to chibi style, and I'm okay with that, because I love it. I love this, the way that I draw this in particular. See, it just did it has a little kink in the line that I didn't draw. Like, I tried to draw a curve and it just, there, it straightened it out. I hate that. That is a tablet issue. So back to personality. I got the idea of a Weskie from my first local for a friend who was also a Weskie, and I don't know why he had picked that. but I picked it because well, initially I was going to be a husky, but I couldn't actually draw husky tails because they're curled. I can sort of draw them now, but I don't bother. So I just picked a wolf tail. But then personality reasons as well, as silly as a husky, but I can go wolf when I have to, because there'll be times I'll not put up with crap. That's incredibly rare, but I feel like there's a time and a place for it. Plus there's kind of the loner aspects of a wolf, which is a little more fitting, and huskies are known to be like incredibly kinky, and that's not really me. I find stereotypes like that incredibly dumb. I get the fun of it, but one of the nice things about escapism through furry is just getting away from stereotypes that are stupid like that. So I don't feel the need to go and recreate new stereotypes. It's just societal problems all over again. Okay, I like the line thickness for the body, just not for the head. Of course, if I had done it in vector, I could have just rectangle selected the entire head and set all the line thicknesses at once. But that would be a cheat. I'm not cheating this time. Should probably draw a fur tuft there as well. I don't know. That's what I usually see as a fur tuft instead of a belly button, but I love belly buttons. I don't know how much sense that makes on a furry, but I like it. Should I connect that? No, I don't like it. I'll probably color this one during the recording as well, but not until after I line the other one, just so I'm still in the groove. I don't know if the clickety clacks of the pen are audible or even annoying. Maybe it's a little more true to the experience and legitimacy of it. Legitimacy of drawing trash. You guys hang on to what you've got. Get the most out of it. There should be more gravity to this tail. I'm gonna try something different. I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna do it just like the face tufts. I'm really awful at tails and sketches, but I try my absolute best when lining. Unlike that. That's a little better. That is a wolf tail, definitely, not a husky tail. I've drawn the curled tail sometimes, but I'll stick to this. It's just easier. Kinda works. Forgot some key components. Hair spikes are tricky. I keep doing them, but I do not find them easy. It feels like some people do it extremely naturally. Always make them too small or make them off position. Like that is really terrible, but that's because of this one. I need to redraw this. actually out of talking points for this portion of the stream. Not stream, recording. So I'll actually skip to the music topic. Because that's another thing I constantly put off. It's pretty well known I'm a huge EDM addict. And I don't actually know what I want to produce because I kind of love everything. I do have a musical ADHD because even in the span of like an hour, I'll go from like hardstyle and hardcore to trance to deep house, and I'm no better when wanting to produce it. I could come up with something unique, or I could come up with a complete mess. I just accidentally moved my eraser tool. Moving the mouse over to the tablet is really annoying because I use Synergy, and I have 4 monitors for my main computer, which essentially makes me God in terms of seeing everything. But I have to move the cursor all the way over to the far left in order to move it to the tablet, which is directly underneath like my second monitor from the right. So it's really unnatural. And it seems like Synergy has no way to fix it. Maybe it could be fixed with the restart? I don't know. Because I only just set this up and haven't even restarted since I installed the drivers, because I have 2 video cards now for the 4 monitors. The expression is so weird because he looks like he's about to just lose his top about something, like extreme anger. Like twitchy. That's not even what I was going for, but it's so funny when I do that. So I'm gonna leave it like that. So now on to the gift art. Oops. What is that layer? Oh, that's the earlier sketch. This one I am going to do in vector because I really don't want to mess this up. And I'm going to pick thinner lines, thankfully. 10 is my usual. So Jib actually showed up at a party that's fairly local 2 weekends ago, which is Kerfluffle 21. And I was told he might be there. I didn't actually expect to see him there. But it's just a dance party for the most part on a pirate ship this time. They do that every year. I'm kind of new to Kerfluffle, so I don't know how many meets I'm going to attend, especially because it's out of country. Those are based in Toronto, and I'm in New York State, nowhere near the city. So it's pretty close, it's like 3 hours to Toronto. But like last time, from that meet actually, I got detained coming back into the US just because I said party, I suspect. And I should have said no, it's something a lot more official and regulated. We don't bring drugs onto the ship or anything, and all the alcohol is paid for by us from a vendor that's on the ship. So it's not actually like supplied by the furries. Because of course this was a furry party, it's literally named Kerfluffle. It was fantastic, that was the most fun I've had in a long time, just getting absolutely loose, especially to the third DJ, I don't remember his name. He played a lot of trance, and I actually could not sit still. Like every time I sat down to take a break or check my phone, so I would have to do that, just to have a break. I'd have to get right back up again during a really nice drop and just move. And I had issues walking for 4 days after that. Just because I never had that much energy in my life. What am I doing? But yeah, Jib was there, and I asked early on if he's alright with gift art, which I assume the answer is yes, but it's nice to ask while I can. And of course he said yes. So he doesn't want free art. I showed him some of my stuff, which he liked. He's actually also a New Yorker, but from the other side of the state, which I don't visit too often, especially recently. I know this is going to sound very first world, but just going through New York City is horrifically obnoxious. And I say that as somebody who grew up many states away and I've always wanted to visit New York City. It's just a pain to get through now. Because if you get to Long Island, it's either that or you go to Connecticut and take a ferry. If that's even an option, I haven't actually checked. I'd like to do as much gift art as possible, but I have to know who wants it. That's why I just ask around. I love vector because I can just do this. Each line is an object, but it's proprietary vector. I can't like export it to Inkscape or anything. I can't import either. It's all Clip's own stuff. And it can be a little frustrating, but for me it's much easier than drawing the real way. It's something I'm happy to master. Also on music, I suppose it's gonna have mixed reactions, but I've been listening to a lot of Labbox finally. Halley Labs, I think it'd be pronounced. Halley. They're also fairly local because they're only from Hamilton, Ontario, which is about 2 hours away. I didn't know that until recently because I saw that and I was like, holy crap, I've actually been through Hamilton half a dozen times and I had no idea. But that's kind of old school for it to me. Like, a lot of that music was produced back when I still had a grudge for the fandom, which makes it more powerful for me to listen to now, because I'm actually digging a lot of it. But the fan base seems really split on it, just saying how much better the old stuff is, but I like it all the same. I'm just incapable of hating music, for the most part. I know, like, country is brought up a lot, but one of her songs actually samples a country song. The Burning Ring of Fire part. I thought that was really amusing. I bet I can try to pick that song next at this part of the video if I can find it. If I can find this part of the video and remember to play that here. Because after all, that is not copyrighted music, so I'd be happy to play it. But it's probably also overplayed to people more familiar with the musical side of the furry fandom. I really like how the eyes turned out on this one. At least so far. I'll probably screw it up during lighting. Eyes are something where I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, and then it turns out okay, whereas paws or something where I'm like, okay, I definitely got this, and then I have a massive struggle with it for an hour. I'm doing the posture thing again, I'm starting to feel pain. This fatigues me a lot too. I'll actually like fall asleep drawing. Or feel like it. But it's Sunday, so whatever. I've fallen asleep like 4 hours early on weekdays just because I was drawing after getting home from work. Because that was somehow a lot more fatiguing than the actual work. And I was saying actual work, there would have been some people, but I just mean my day job. Point still stands though, this is a lot more difficult for me than warehouse work. Okay, use blue eyes. I'm gonna find a way to do that. Again, I don't know if I'll be doing that in the recording. This is gonna be tricky. Hair hanging over the goggles. I love goggles. I actually have that option for my character as well, but I never use it. I don't like that. Here. Maybe? Nah. I want to arch it up more. That's a little more like it. This is the annoying part about Vector. Getting it to cooperate at intersections. Noses I struggle a lot with too, especially the big ones. Cat noses I find a little easier, because I'll always do those in 2 strokes, at least. But big canine noses I try to do in 1, and I always fail. This one I'm doing in 2 to play it safe. Ideally that would be rounded off, but I don't know if it's worth the trouble. Every time I try that it becomes a total hurdle. I have multiple ways to draw snouts, and this is one of my more traditional and safer methods. I think his character actually works pretty well with my style. Well, he doesn't have a snaggle tooth or anything like that. I'll set it at a tongue, that's always safe. Two ways to draw tongues. That's the easy way. But then there's also the 2-hump way, which I'm doing completely backwards. Like that. Which is actually the same technique for drawing floppy ears. That kind of works. I didn't realize how much hair his character had. Which is a challenge, but I like it. Some people just won't draw that at all. I'll take the challenge. Just be nice to draw all sorts of different hair for the experience. Don't know which way the ear is going to point. I didn't actually sketch it. I'll just leave it like that. Pointing the opposite way. Bandana I also had a lot of difficulty with, but I think I've got it. I think it'll look better with a lining than with sketch. gosh, I just remembered. One of the other topics I was going to bring up was Uber, and I just had a young couple yesterday headed to the university, and I only listened to half their conversation, so I just kind of dropped in on the second half, because they're talking about, like, going to somebody's house and doing it on the table and in the kitchen, and then they started talking about knives, and I was like, hold up. But they explained that they were just talking about pumpkin carving, and I was a lot less worried after that point, but they knew what I was thinking about. Like, I had to point out how terrifying the all was out of context. But I love when people can actually take a joke. Some passengers just don't really pick up on jokes at all. It's actually amazing how detached you can be with people. The stuff that you would talk about with friends you would think would be totally obvious, but nope. So many different backgrounds and just traits that make us unique. That's the thing I thought I would hate the most with Uber, but it's actually the most fun, is just being able to talk to all sorts of different people and getting to know the city. I think it helps a lot for tolerance, because, well, first off, you have to put up with people, and they have to put up with you. Well, I mean, they don't really have to, but they feel obliged if they're going to be stuck in a car with you for the duration of the trip. But I feel like more people would benefit from taxiing others around, just because if there's anybody that, like, a bigot would have a problem with, like, different genders or people of color or different races or such, you see that these people are actually not that bad. Like, it's so easy to hate others if you don't interact with them at all, but working a service where you're basically getting everyone, you see the good in everybody. Though admittedly, the worst passengers I've had were the ones with enough money to blow on drinking Pepsi all Friday night and Saturday night, and just showing zero respect whatsoever for anybody around them, which is not surprising. That's why I stopped driving at those times. This is supposed to be a thumb, but I don't know. Kind of screwed it up. I've never had anybody puke in my car, but I've had, like, people run into the bars and leave the door wide open, and I had to actually, like, get up out of my seat and close it while parked on the street, because the bar parts of the town, it'll just be streets lined with Uber cars and Lyft cars, and it's an absolute it's a total mess. Even yesterday, I had somebody actually hit the horn at me because I had parked on the side of the street at it's not really a farmer's market, it's kind of a flea market in downtown Rochester. And I put the hazards on, so I don't intend to be there long. I'm just there to pick up 2 passengers and go. It's actually the same people as discussed earlier. So somebody just felt the need to tell me what an asshole I was for that, but I don't choose to do that. I mean, I just want to make sure the passenger sees me, gets in, and I leave ASAP. That's my job. It didn't really bother me, it humored us all the time, but I'm just thinking, well, if this guy who shouted that at me had a better idea of the situation, he wouldn't have said that. That's the part that kind of gets to me. How much more civil we'd be if we had any understanding. So I certainly don't want to park on the side of a busy road and pull people up. It just so happened after owning like 7, 8, or 9 cars, I can't even keep count anymore. Just because I like buying old cars. That I have a Honda now, and I never thought I would see myself owning a Honda, but that's just how it turned out. And I could see them making people a little more upset, because I'd say statistically Honda drivers are a lot more likely to just do really dumb stuff on the road. I can completely see that. I can just try my best not to, but Uber definitely pushes it a little sometimes. I like this one, I don't like this one. I could manipulate the line, but I'd rather redraw it. Everybody can attest for the difficulty of hands. Going on with the index finger here. I'm gonna leave that just as a reference and draw that instead. Oh, that's even worse. How's that? It's a thickness issue. I need to get thinner down here. Like such. That's probably good enough. I shouldn't go off of good enough for the final thing, but if it's good enough for right now for a recording, then whatever. The final will come out when it comes out. I learned not to rush anything anymore. And if I do, just come back to it. I tend to rush right at the end when I shouldn't, because it takes me a day to see the rest of the problems. And I'm just so anxious to get something out and released. I mean for this one to look very clean and simple. But I like that as soon as I was showing the sketch around, people knew immediately who it was, which I think is a fantastic character trait. This is going to be the most fun part to draw, let's be honest. You know, you don't have to have a Foot King to enjoy it, it's just challenging. Challenging and very soft looking, I love that. Time to flip the canvas for the entire first time of the recording. I have a bad habit of not doing that. I feel like the beans don't have to be that picky because it just looks like his toe is going inward, which is also fine. It just makes it look more wiggly. That's okay. I don't know though, I'll try all sorts of stuff. I think I like that the most. Another nice little vector cheat is I can connect lines and fix the thicknesses when it works. Right here. Ooh. I don't know what the number means. I think that's actually like line thickness in pixels. Let me try. Probably. All sorts of bizarre, non-standard measurements. Like, I think clip actually defaults to inches instead of pixels. Or it was Photoshop, I don't remember. It's so tempting to give him a bigger belly just because I'd love it, but the ref sheet shows he's not so. Just a little bit of belly. It's natural for my style. I think I can get away with that. It's almost noodle style, just because there's no joints. No elbows, no knees. The number one thing I noticed about Jib's character is that he's plantigrade. Always plantigrade, except on the ref sheet for some reason. But that's the only art I've seen that's degraded him. Kind of ironic. I feel like a lot of people who draw his character just go off of the animations because there's so much reference material there. I didn't though, I'm just going strictly off the ref sheet. This is terrible. I don't entirely know what to do here. I'm gonna go backwards. Maybe? I guess that can pass. Now the tail, that's a part I used to forget a lot. A little necessary. It seems he has a foxtail. Being a fox husky. Fusky. It seems like a thinner, more natural foxtail than the usual super fluffy ones you see. I turned up the stabilization over what I used to have it at. It's at 35 now. I usually draw it at 20. I like having a lower stabilization because it's more difficult. I want to practice. But yeah, I'll get there eventually. I feel like the torso is wrong, but otherwise I really like how it turned out. But now it's because it's vector, I just get to play with it. Let's try this. Feels like this was a little low. I think that can pass. I'll figure it out in the day after I post it. I actually really like how the head turned out though, even in the final line, which is what I'm the most critical of. Jesus, it doesn't feel like my own art. Especially because I just work for free. I actually put up a request form on Twitter for people to just fill out to send me ideas, and there's been 0 takers. It'd be fun just... Wow, this looks so much worse now. It'd be fun just to draw those in recordings too. I think this is a clip issue, not a Surface Pro issue, but sometimes if I have a ref up and I'm working in a color layer, then it'll just freeze up and not take pen input. Is this a sketch? Yeah. So above that. I should use clip layers more, but it's a bad habit of mine, I don't. Unless I absolutely have to. I'm gonna try and figure it out though. I gotta relearn the process, I think. Make this a clip layer. Okay, yeah, that's perfect. That's the way it works. Just kind of get over the little switch thing. I'm probably not even going to actually, like, post this one. It was just something extra to work on. I could just magic wand this, but it's no fun. There's something just really pleasant about stroking away the whole time. Nice thick lines make it really easy to do too. Huge margin of error. Rather small margin of error? Yeah, that'd be small margin of error. So I can be nice and sloppy. Oh, apparently it's been nearly an hour. I just found the counter for that on OBS. Usually an hour and 30 minutes is about where I peter out and just get too fatigued to continue. I did mention the 4-hour one before, but that one was actually only about... It was 4 hours of drawing, but the recording only made it to about 4.5 before OBS crashed. That one was also on the tablet, so the tablet just kind of couldn't take it anymore. Been meaning to redraw this ref sheet ever since its inception. I hate everything about it except the background and theme. I actually like that. It's tacky, but I like that. Tacky and silly. Whoops. There's a fix for this. I should use area scaling. There. Another feature I absolutely love about Clip. I didn't add ear color to the chart. Oh well. No. I usually don't do all the colors on one layer, but it's so simple and I'm actually kind of confident about it, so I'll do it the hard way. Plus it is a clip layer, so let's dive in the deep end. I'm gonna have my reference up on another monitor real quick. There goes my hard drive having an epiphany. Yeah, I should have done that on separate layers. Oh well. Here's the bad idea, but there are worse ideas. I can just do this. What am I doing? Oh. Watch as I damage control everything I said I would do deliberately. And figured out why I shouldn't. This expression is quite fitting for that. I completely cut into myself. I like this design because it's not picky. Like, not shapeshifter on picky, but nothing is really set. Artists can basically draw them however they like and I won't complain. Except I do like requesting a slightly bigger belly usually, because it gets drawn too thin a lot of the time. That's something I need to add to the ref sheet. It's 100% my fault. I tried adding like extra chub on him, but it wasn't apparent enough and I should actually put it in text. I was going to answer Curious Cat questions on the recording, but none of them actually popped up, but I could go back and answer old ones that I had already answered by text, but I could elaborate on them if I like. You're all anonymous though. And my microphone is actually blocking the entire screen, so maybe not. I'm probably going to be erasing all this eventually, because I don't know where the blue stripe goes. It doesn't have a set place, just like anything. Maybe if I'm pickier on the design, I'll spend less time just not being sure. And get through it quicker. The blue stripe I actually like to do in vector. can do magic tricks. I can do stuff like this. Let's see. 30. What a minuscule detail. But I have the power, so I will use it. Enjoy the music because I don't get to. So I'm not listening to it yet. I love the mono brush, mono pen. Zooming around to change the size is such a superpower. Well, it's not drawing 35. Oh, the stabilization, not brush size. I just I just set it to 1400. Okay. Thanks for nothing, clip. 1000% my fault.
Check this out, I've got something to say. Man, it's so loud in here.
This looks like something I would have loved when I was 15, and I guess that's still true. In a lot of ways, I've never grown up. Oh yeah, I have a clip layer. Perfect. I can go full ham. Mostly. Goodness gracious, and you. Huh? Oh. As disclaimed, I'm very stupid. Oh yeah, I forgot I did this one in raster. So it's legit. A rarity. How did you just do that? I just managed to draw with my finger on a screen where it shouldn't be possible. I should actually use those SKI dials to be more expressive. I never thought of that. But like, I could probably do this. It changes it up a ton. It doesn't look right though. Power glove levels of bad. Gray on the bottom of the tail, always forget that. This is a lot faster than I usually go. I suppose that's what recording does to you. Especially streaming. A lot of people I know who stream only draw whenever they stream. As in, they just don't feel the drive to do it otherwise. I wish I had that kind of confidence, but it'd also be kind of annoying to feel the need to stream whenever I had to work. Mediocre softball art, but it's not softball art that I paid for, so that's fine. Another reason I love doing GIFs, there's just no buyer's remorse involved. I definitely made stuff for people that we were both unhappy with, and we just kind of tossed it under the rug. That's basically done. Thanks, I hate it. So much better. I don't know, I can make this perfect. I just want to change one thing. Now I like it. Really sketchy ref. It's actually going to be a little annoying because it's a JPEG. An hour and 16 minutes in, I might just cut out at an hour and a half without being done. Because, like I said about the fatigue. I'm gonna layer this one responsibly, so this is the details layer. That's where I do stuff like eyes, nose, mouth, ears, paw pads. Go away. White is actually the secondary color, so I'll save that for its own layer. I don't know what this is on his ear. I should have, like, asked him in person. Oops, I actually forgot to line it. Color history, I love that feature too. That's not confusing at all. It's completely my fault. I wish I had words to describe. My anxiety was absolutely through the roof just hitting the record button. Even though I can edit it in post, I just can't start. I mean, obviously I did, but it's just monumentally difficult. Oh, his eyes are white. How mainstream. Jokes aside, I actually love seeing yellow eyes as well. I tried it on my character, but it didn't really work. It's just a really nice detail. Oh, I should be using the magic wand for this.
When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs. And if my mind works backwards just for a minute,
I'm in upstate New York and I don't even know if people ski. I mean, heck, I love the cold and I don't even know if people ski. Seems like too much. I guess I never really bought proper winter wear for as long as I've lived in the north. I have the gloves and jacket for it, but not really much else. For like winter sports like that, you basically dress like you're going to Antarctica. That I've never done. Not the Antarctica part, but I mean like putting on that much to wear in the snow. It's very rare that I'm actually out in the snow for a good duration of time. Thank goodness, because we actually get like negative 30-degree Fahrenheit temperatures here. I just forgot to use the magic wand again. I'm wasting all this time. I forgot to draw a line and now I'll pay the price. These black ear tips. Clip layer, please don't fail me. Perfect. My other favorite feature with clip is the closed gap. So say you go to fill an area and you accidentally left a tiny little gap somewhere and you can't find it. Closed gap will actually just ignore the gap and go right over it. I love how that's working with a black outline. His tongue is pink. And the nose is black. That makes things easy. So our paw pads. scarf is also green. Oops. Oh gosh, I missed a line.
Night is cold, but your heart's colder. I will wait for you. The glitch in your eyes pulled me under, but I will wait for you. There's nothing left for me to do than run and act myself a fool. No point in trusting anyone.
X-ray vision. Design's not too far off mine. Part house after all. For both hybrids. Oh, let's see. Oh gosh. Hadn't anticipated that. What happens if I... Ah, that's annoying. Oh well. Not worth the trouble. Wait, I can do this, can't I? Oh yeah, perfect. I actually wish I had the control panel in the recording now to see what the solution was. It was just moving the white layer underneath while having it clipping below. I forgot a line, didn't I? Yes, I did. That's not a perfect white. Huh. Oh, right there. Actually, I don't know. I can leave that green. But it doesn't look right, so I won't.
Fill me out with your smile. Now the sunshine brings the light. Fill me out
I still don't like that index finger. Hopefully the next time I go to do this, I'll actually have topics to bring up, or heck, maybe I'll stream. Those are usually dead. I only get about 1 or 2 viewers maximum. So even then I don't have anything topical. I'm gonna figure out how to do the legs, because this does not look easy. I'll fill in what I know. Even though I had Telegram notifications disabled, I've actually not received any messages anyway. I think that's gonna get erased. Typical. So, let's see. Let's see what it did. Huh? Oh. I do have close gap enabled, but that's too big a gap. This is basically the same as mine. Did I just finish? Oh, no, I didn't. I got excited there. Looks like, I still gotta do the tail too. Looks like that back design goes on down onto the legs as well. So, I'm gonna do this. I'm not going to use the fill bucket on this part because there's two different layers of lines. How am I gonna do this? Let's see. Kinda lazy. My pen clicks a lot when it's in the air because I don't actually have a Surface Pro pen. Never had one. I use a ThinkPad pen that's from the X230. And the nice thing about this pen is that it's actually really cheap to replace. And I only recently figured out it does have replaceable nubs. I haven't ever replaced it though, and I probably should because it was starting to scratch the screen with one rough edge. Hasn't happened today though, so I don't know. I guess I've just gotten lucky. It's just about that. Probably make this match up a little better. Oopsie. I might shade it, I don't know. I might do like self shading. Oh, it's already an hour and 41 minutes in. So this is what I do for drop shadows. Simple as it gets. Draw a hole underneath. Like so. Pretty standard. I shouldn't use black though. I should use something a little more interesting. Actually try the green, just for silliness. Whoa. I hear a delivery truck, but I don't expect anything. Huh. Don't know why that's a cool player for some reason. That's pretty standard for one of my gift commissions. I'd say commission in the sense that it's pretty standard for me, but I was not commissioned to do it. But that is how a commission would go if I were commissioned. So kind of a play commission. Just looking for little issues. Like that. Why did it just freeze? It did the thing where it doesn't respond to finger input now, as it does. That's either, I think it's a clip issue and not a Surface Pro issue. Combination of the two. Because I've never heard of it happening to anybody else. I've never seen anything online about it. I'd say this is just about done though. With that, I'll end the recording a lot longer than I expected to go.